A very good morning to all of you, my dear students. Welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel, Let's Learn Together. And here is the fifth tutorial regarding the chapter Print Culture in the Modern World. And this is our new topic of the chapter, that is print and dissent. Dissent means what? Dispute. Now there was a print everywhere, we have come to know, because of the new invention of Johann Gutenberg press. So now there was print everywhere, and where there is a print, there will be a dispute maybe also. So let us see what was the kind of dispute there prevailing in Europe. In the 16th century, one of the man known as Monacchio, who was a miller in Italy. So he was a miller. He was just a normal man working as a miller. And he began to read books that were available in his localities. That's okay, nothing problem over here. He began to read the books, that is okay. But what he did after going through the books, he retranslated the message of the Bible and formulated a different view of God and his creation. That is the thing he has done. He translated the message of the Bible once again according to his own view, and he printed that, circulated that. And what he just given in the message was a different view of the God and the creation. So it will just make someone angry, because Monacchio was of this. Because of this, he was dragged up twice in the court and ultimately executed by the Roman Catholic court. Because he was dragged up twice, he was warned, but he has not given up. So he was dragged once again, and finally he was executed and punished. Because at that time, Roman Catholic court, they used to follow the hard punishment. They used to give hard punishment to the people who really go against the teaching of the Bible, or who used to translate or retranslate or give a different meaning of God and creation and his creation. So they used to punish the heretics. Heretics are those persons who do not follow the accepted teachings of the church. Means what? Others are accepting the teachings of the church, the others will have to accept. And if someone will go against that, they will be known as heretics. And Roman Catholic court, they used to punish those type of people. So Monacchio was one of them, and he was punished and executed. Means executed, he was killed also. So the Roman Catholic Church troubled. They were troubled by such effects of popular readings and questioning of faith. Because now people started writing their view, and if someone is writing, then others are reading also. So people started questioning regarding the faith or regarding the teachings of Bible, and they started questioning and troubling these Roman Catholic Church people. So now this was the action time from the church also. So what they did, they imposed a serious control over the publishers as well as the booksellers, that they should not sell those type of books which goes against the teachings of Bible. So they imposed a serious control, that they banned the publishing and selling of those type of books. Roman Catholic Church, they began to maintain an index also of such prohibited books from the year 1558. They started maintaining that index also, that which are the prohibited books, so that they can list out and they can find out if such books are again coming into the market, then they will take action. So that's why they were just maintaining an index. Remember the year from where they started maintaining the index, 1558. Now here comes the reading mania. Reading mania means the happiness or the involvement of the people in reading the books. Literacy rates went up in Europe during this 17th and 18th century, but it was not too high till late 20th century, that we have just discussed in last tutorial. So the literacy rate was going up, and as more and books were coming into the market, so people were eager to read. So they were started learning also. Churches also helped them. Church also started setting up schools in villages, and they carried literacy to peasants and artisans also. So now the peasants, the laborers, the farmers, even the artists, they started learning because church has set up a school in villages also. Literacy rates were as high as 60 to 80% in some parts of Europe. So that is quite good one. During this 17th, 18th century, in some parts of Europe, the literacy rate was up to 80% also. So literacy and schools spread in many European countries, and there was really a very effective reading mania among the people. Means people were very desired of reading on, so that they can they were quite eagerness everywhere. So it was a real virtual reading mania in the European countries, and that was quite effective. It was just affecting the mind of the people. People started thinking logically also. People wanted more books to read, and printers produced more books for them in increasing numbers. So everything was going on balanced in a balanced way. That was very good in the Europe going on. Let us see what happened next. That booksellers employed peddlers also. So now the booksellers have taken one more action, one more step ahead, so that they can reach to the people in the houses also. So they employed peddlers. Peddlers are those persons who used to move from one place to another place and sell the products. So they employed peddlers, booksellers, who used to roam around villages and go on in the villages, inside the villages, and carry that little books for sale. Little books means which can be kept in pocket also. So small size books they used to keep in their with them, and they used to move into the villages, and they were just selling door to door. Peddlers were employed by the booksellers to increase their selling, as well as to increase the reading mania among the people also. There were almanacs also, diaries, almanacs also, even ritual calendars also were there, along with the ballads and the folk tales. So books of different varieties, and almanacs. Let me show you what I mean by over here almanac. Even ritual calendars which used to tell you, going to happy Holi, when is Holi, when is Diwali. That is known as the ritual calendars. So almanac, what is it? An annual publication giving astronomical data. Astronomical, when you used to fix a marriage ceremony and a marriage of someone, then we used to take data from this particular type of almanac, and which says about the stars, about the bad and good days. So information about the movement of the sun and the moon, timing of full tide, eclipses, and much many more. So there were almanacs or ritual calendars along with the ballads and the folktales. And in England, apart from Italy, they also started penny chapbooks. Chapbooks means are those books which are really very small in size, which can be kept in pocket, were carried by these petty peddlers known as chapmen. Now these peddlers who were known in Italy as peddlers, now they came to be known as chapmen in England, and they were selling those chapbooks, small size books, for a penny, so that even the poor can also buy those books for a penny and go through the reading. In France, so we have seen about Italy, we have seen England. That what happened in France? Let us see. In France were the Bibliothèque Bleue, which were low price small books printed on very poor quality paper, and even bounded in cheap blue covers. To make that book very cheap, low price, they used poor quality paper and even covers also, so that they can be purchased by the poor as well, and as well as the rich one can also purchase books of various sizes, and serving many different purposes and interests were introduced in France also. Now you can see that there were books on romances printed on 4 to 6 pages. Even the more important histories, which were stories about the past, they used to print. So now books, you can see a type of varieties, and romances about histories and containing 4 to 6 pages. Periodical press combined. Also there was periodical papers were also there. Those who were printing the current affairs and weekly or fortnightly, and even they were printing about the entertainment also, so that people having that type of choice or test can also purchase books. Even newspapers and journals carried information about wars and trade and news of developments in other places also. So journals were also there carrying wars and trade. Even the ideas of scientists and philosophers were published and became more accessible to the common people. Means whatever the scientists were saying or inventing, they were getting, the common people were getting the news, getting the ideas of the philosophers as well as scientists. Ancient and medieval scientific texts were also compiled and published so that it can also reach to the people. And ancient history, ancient medieval scientific text, everything was just getting compiled and published. Even maps and scientific diagrams were also widely printed so that they can have a view by the people also. Scientists like Isaac Newton began publishing their discoveries also. Scientists also now were not lagging behind. They were also began publishing about their discoveries, which influenced a much wider circle of scientifically minded readers. So now it created a new different type of reader, those who were scientifically minded, when scientist minded. They were reading such type of books. And the writings of thinkers such as Thomas Paine, Voltaire, Jean-Jacques Rousseau were also printed and read. You might have heard their name in French Revolution in class 9. Their ideas about science, reason and rationality, that is logic, very important my dear student over here. People learned the idea of logic. They started looking at things with a different view, with a view of logic. Logically they started having a reason. They wanted a reason, they wanted a science behind every aspect of life. So they started thinking or seeing people differently with a different view with the help of this reading mania, or you can say that is the invention of the printed machine or printed materials. Thus information, so we can say that information became accessible to common man also, because books, low price books, even small size books, everything was available, and so that the poor can also get the information. So it was really accessible to the poor man also. Now here is the next topic, that is tremble therefore tyrants of the world. Tremble means kaap jana, and tyrants of the world are just trembling. They are just scared of. Tyrants means dictators. Those dictators are now just trembling, or you can say they are scaring with the technology, with the invention of the printing machine and the dissemination of information everywhere, even to the common people. So this tyrant people, dictator type of people, they were just scaring because of this print technology, because people were getting new ideas. By the mid 18th century, people believed that book could change the whole society. People started believing that by going through the books, they can have the ideas and they can react. So there was a common assurance that books were a means of spreading both progress and enlightenment. है ना, लोगों को शिक्षा भी मिलेगा and even they will progress also. So people were just having this assurance in their heart that books can change this their progress. Their books can give them enlightenment also. People started believing that books would release society from despotism, that is dictatorship. They started believing because philosophers started printing their ideas in the book, and books were just in the hands of the poor people and the hands of the common people. So these people were believing that one day these books would really release the society from dictatorship type of government and tyranny, that is the misuse of power. Because we have heard a lot of time that dictators, they used to misuse the power against the people. So there would be a time, people were thinking that there would be a time when reason and intellect would rule and not the dictators. People were thinking that there will be a time when everything will be according to the reason and the intellectual of the people. So that the rule of reason and intellect would be a future. The people were thinking. Louis Sebastian Mercier, a novelist, he was a novelist of the 18th century. You can see his image also of France. What he declared, remember my friend, that is quite important for MCQ purpose also. So Louis Sebastian Mercier, he declared that the printing press is the most powerful engine of progress. And what he else declared, that public opinion is the force. Public opinion एक ऐसा ताकत है that will sweep despotism away, जो डिक्टेटरशिप को हरा सकता है, खत्म कर सकता है, उसका खात्मा कर सकता है. So Louis Sebastian Mercier just declared this thing in the printing press, and he printed his ideas and he shared his idea among the people, and people learned and came to know that really the printing press is a really gift, the best gift of the nature given to them. He was also convinced, Louis Sebastian Mercier, that the power of print, that it will convince, he was convinced that the power of print in bringing enlightenment and destroying the basis of despotism, that he was just thinking and believing that this power of print can bring enlightenment and really destroy the world of despotism. So he declared one more sentence, one more statement he gave, that tremble, therefore tyrants of the world, means the tyrants means those people who are misusing the people, misusing the power, they should be tremble, they should be scared of. He further declared that tremble before the virtual writer. डर जाइए आप किससे? Virtual writer से, यानी philosopher से, scientist से आप डर जाइए, because they are now having the tool in their hand. They can print anything. They are using the pen, so they can change the world. So they are, that he is declaring that tyrants of the world means the people who are using misusing the power. Please scare of us, because tremble before, you should be trembling before the virtual writer, before the writer. Writer means now the people are the common people are the writer. The statement means over here. He said further that tyranny will no longer exist, and that books will instill a fear amongst those tyrants. And tyranny khatam ho jayega, and books will instill what? A fear among those tyrants, those who are misusing the power, those who are ruling across the world and misusing the power against the people. So he said that the virtual writer, please tremble with us and scare with them, because they are going to change the world. Virtual writer with his power of pen and print media will create awareness among the people. He just declared few things, very creative one and very knowledgeable one, that with the power of pen and print media, we can create awareness among the people, and still we are doing the things. Then collectively, he said, further in his great statement, what he said, that collectively we can act against despotic government. He said that the book can make the people and arrange the people in a collective way, can collect the people against the government which is despotic, which is dictator type, which is misusing the power. So that is the topic, means to say that the despotic power means the people who are having the power and misusing them, they should tremble with the print media, with the invention of the print. Now let us see, few of them are saying also that print culture and about the French Revolution, that many historians are saying, they are arguing that print culture is the only reason, is one of the reasons which created the condition for the French Revolution. And I really agree with those historians, because they have placed three arguments before us to prove that really print culture has created the scene or conditions for the French Revolution. Print revolution ने ही एक कंडीशन बनाया जिसके वजह से फ्रेंच रिवॉल्यूशन हुआ. अब इसको प्रूव करने के लिए देयर आर थ्री रीजंस, एंड व्हाट आर दोस? रीजन नंबर वन, print popularized the ideas of enlightenment thinkers. Really great, the ideas of those philosophers, enlightenment thinkers, those who were thinking differently, it was popularized with the help of this print media. They argued, the people started, the enlightenment thinkers argued that the rule of reason than the custom, means people should not follow the custom, they should try to know the reason behind each and every rule, and they should demand that everything should be judged through the application of reason. मतलब कोई भी चीज ऐसे ही accept ना करें, है ना? We should accept only if there is a reason, if there is a valuable reason and really a good reason to accept something. So everything should be judged according to the reason. So the philosophers were teaching the people that they should ask the reason for each and every rules and regulations or whatever they are going to perform in their life. They attacked these enlightenment thinkers, they attacked the sacred authority of the church also, and even despotic power of the government. We have seen Martin Luther, he directly challenged and wrote 95 theses and just pasted all those theses in the door of the church also and challenged. So even people started challenging the church and the government also. So that was the thing that everyone was scared of, because they were thinking that really the things are changing. The writings of Voltaire and Rousseau were read widely. Even their books, by reading those books, the people saw the world through new eyes, through the eyes of those enlightenment thinkers, through the eyes that were questioning, जो क्वेश्चन पूछने वाले थे, ऐसे आंख से लोग देखने लगे दुनिया को जो क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं. They were thinking critically, and even they were thinking about the reason. They were asking the reason from the government as well as from the church authorities also. Why and why? So the second reason, let us see what is the second judgment, you can say second proof what they have given. Print created a new culture of dialogue as well as debate also. Yes, that we have also discussed, that people started writing about their views and expressions, and other were challenging. So the debate and discussion was going on through the help of the print also. All the values, even the norms, rules and regulations, even the institutions, government institutions or private institutions or church, whatever, they were all started, people started all re-evaluating them. I mean, rethinking about those rules and regulations or about the teachings of the institutions. People started discussing in public, and they really became aware of the power of the reason. People were really aware of the power of what? Power of reason. लोगों को ये समझ में आ गया था कि हम लोगों को पूछना चाहिए कि ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है ना? Why? They really understand the value of why, the value of asking the question why it is so. People recognize the need to question. They started questioning the existing ideas and the beliefs. Whatever the existing ideas prevailing and the existing beliefs were prevailing in throughout Europe, people started questioning about them. Within this public culture, new ideas of social revolution also came into being. And new ideas of social revolution, people started new revolution of social being. People started meeting each other and reading about new ideas and about the different type of people also. And the third argument that they have placed, the historians, about that really print changed, and that was the created the condition, the print condition created the condition for the French Revolution. The third argument that we have received from the historians, that they have said that lot of literature were also published in those days. People started disrespecting and mocking and even questioning the government. That was also one of the issue, and that was created after the print media, that the issue was being faced by the government as well as the government church authorities also. People started raising the questions on the existing or social order of that time, that we already know about the clergy, nobility, and the third state people known as commoners also. So people started questioning why this social order is like that, that clergy and nobility were not paying tax and just ruling among them, ruling on the commoners. Even literature circulated underground, and people started learning about the literature secretly, and it led to the growth of aggressive sentiments against the monarchy, है ना? और इसकी वजह से ही क्या हुआ कि people were quite aggressive, having aggressive sentiments against the monarchy by going through the ideas of the philosophers and different people. So the bottom line is that print did not directly shape their minds, but it did open up the possibility of thinking differently. Print has not changed their mind. Print has just make it possible that people should start thinking differently and to view the world with a different or new eye with the help of the philosophers. Print also helped in spreading the ideas. That is the bottom line. The ideas were spread with the help of the print, and people started thinking logically. That is most important. It taught the people, print media or print taught the people to think logically. Now, I think that you can answer this question very easily after getting this type of discussion. We have done the discussions that why do some historians think that print culture created the basis for the French Revolution. You can really easily answer this question by writing those three arguments that we have just discussed. Subscribe the channel if you are new over here, and press the bell icon to get the information of the next release of the tutorial also. Please don't forget to share it with your friends and even comment also. That's all in this tutorial. Thank you. Bye bye. Stay at home and take care of yourself, my dear students. A very good morning to all of you, my dear students. And this is the sixth part of the chapter, Print Culture in the Modern World. So, till now we have discussed a lot of things in the previous five tutorials, and now this is the time for the sixth part of the tutorial, and we are going to learn about and discuss about the 19th century in Europe, what really happened there at that particular time. Let us see. The 19th century saw vast leaps in mass literacy. Means there was a increment in the literacy rate in Europe in the 19th century, and it brought large numbers of readers, and including children, women, and even workers also. They also could find out time and go through the books, read out the books, and get the new ideas also. So that was the beginning of, you can say, a beginning of a new era in Europe in this 19th century. So let us learn about the children, women, and workers. What were their conditions in those 19th century? Primary education just became compulsory for each and everyone in Europe. Primary education means children from primary level, that is from nursery, KG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will just have to learn. That was the compulsory thing. Children became an important category of readers also, because it was made compulsory that education should be uh, acquired by each and every child. So a new form of readers just came in front. Production of school textbooks also became very critical for the publishing industry, because it was the need of the time that the books should be published in sufficient quantity so that they can reach to the students and quench their thirst also. A children's press, especially a children's press devoted to literature for children alone, was set up in France in the year 1857 also. So, my dear students, remember the name of the press. A children's press in France was started especially for the literature, so that they can develop literature, print the literature for the children alone. Means that children, that press will only book prints for the children only. That was the main intention of the book, that particular place. This press published new works as well as old fairy tales as well as folk tales also. So the publisher was just giving them a lot of things to be published in that particular new children press. So old fairy tales as well as the new ones, and as well as folk tales also. It means the stories of the local people, local heroes, that was also included, and that was also printed in that particular children's press. The Grimm brothers in Germany, remember the name of the company, the Grimm brothers in Germany, spent years compiling traditional folk tales which they gathered from the peasants. So they also collected, these Grimm brothers in Germany, that company also collected folk tales, that is the local stories or the histories or the stories of the local heroes. They used to collect those traditional stories, small tales, small stories from the peasants, and they used to publish for the children to attract the children towards the books. Now let us see what the women were doing. How were they attracted? Women also became an important part as readers as well as writers also. So women were not also lagging behind. They were good readers as well as they become the writers also. Penny magazines, means magazines which cost only one a penny, single penny, were especially meant for women. As well as manuals which teach proper behavior as well as housekeeping. So magazines for the women, even manuals, manuals, you know that how to lead your life or how to just operate some gadget. So the company used to issue or release some manuals also, how to operate that particular machine, or how can you behave in the life also. You can also have some schedule or the manual also. So those type of manuals were also just getting published out, which were teaching the women the proper behavior as well as how to keep the house in a well condition. So housekeeping materials were also available for the children and women. Women also were also very good novel readers also. as well as writers. So women all were also reading novels and writing novels also. So women are really doing the work. Some women were Jane Austen, the Bronte sisters, George Eliot. So remember, try to remember the name. I can show you the images. Jane Austen. Let us see her image. This is the woman, that's Jane Austen. And let me show you one more, the Bronte sister, the Bronte sisters. You can see their image also, Bronte sisters. So they were famous writers of that time. Even George Eliot, you can see. So these are the famous women of that time, those who were reading or writing also. They defined a new type of woman. So these women, they used to what to do. They used to shape the character of a woman, and they define new type of woman, a person with will, strength of personality, determination, and the most important, that women can think also, the power to think. They used to define women like this, that women can define, can think, and they have the power to think, and they can also have a strong personality also, and they can also live according to their will and determination. So they used to change the mind or the frame of mind or the thinking of the woman, other women also, by their good work or by their philosophy. Now let us say about the workers. What were their condition? What were they doing with the print technology? In 19th century, lending libraries. Now what is that lending libraries? These lending libraries used to lend the books. The libraries of Cambridge are lending libraries of that time. Means they were saying that he that is qualified, means who is able to read, they can borrow any type of book he or she wants. So they were just lending libraries, was helping the human being, so that they can helping the literate person also, you can say, that who can read, they can borrow any type of book from that lending library. Especially they played a major role in educating those white collar workers. Now who are these white collar workers? Let me show you. You can see over here, this white collar worker means those especially who used to work at offices and not in the field. White collar workers are suit and tie workers who work at a desk, and stereotypically skew physical labor. They don't do physical labor, just they sit in office and operate the machines and do official work. But on the other hand, blue collar workers, they refer to workers who engage in hard manual labor, typically agriculture work, manufacturing work, construction work, mining work. So blue collar workers are hard working and they work on the field, but white collar workers are working in the offices. So especially it played a major role in educating those white collar workers, even artists and lower middle class people. So lending libraries were doing their a great job. Workers had some time for self-improvement as well as self-expression also, as the working day was shortened from the mid 19th century. Mid 19th century से क्या हुआ, working day को थोड़ा कम कर दिया गया, means 10 hours of working or 8 hours of working only, and in the rest of the time the workers can improve themselves, and they can also express themselves, express their views also in the form of writing and printing. So worker was getting chances. Self-educated working class people wrote for themselves. So those who were self-educated, those who were not employee of anyone, they were self-educated. Even they were not, they have not gone to school also. Self-educated means they just educated themselves. So those type of people, self-educated working class people, they started writing about themselves in the political areas, as well as autobiographies in large number, because now they were having the invention of printing. So they started writing about their autobiographies about them also, and even they also started writing in the political areas. So these people just started taking part in the government affairs also, you can say, in the running of the government. Even we can see further innovations in printing press also. There were further innovations, and what were that new invention? Printing press machines were made of metals in the late 18th century. Now they started making printing press machines by using the metals, so that it cannot get damaged, or it cannot get uh, that is in bad conditions. By mid 18th century, Richard M. Hoe of New York had perfected the power driven cylindrical press. Let me view that Richard M. Ho. You can also watch him. This is the man. What he has done of New York, he perfected this power driven cylindrical press. Once he perfected this system, that now there is no need of feeding the paper again and again. Now the paper can be fed automatically in the machine. So, and that is also power driven. Now there is no use of manual hand labor, so that it is needed to feed the paper again and again by manually. It is power driven, means now you can use power to just roll down that particular cylinder press, which will just feed the paper and print out and print the things easily, which was capable of printing 8,000 sheets per hour. If you could remember that in the beginning there was a speed of 250 sheets per hour, and with the invention of that Johannes Gutenberg printing press, now there is a great invention. You can see 8,000 sheets per hour. So it just increased the speed a lot of times. 8,000 sheets per hour. Now it can be printed with this power driven cylindrical press. So please, we need to congratulate this man, Richard M. Ho of New York, that he perfected that system. And this press was particularly useful for printing newspapers. We have seen that new particular printing press. So it was quite useful for printing newspapers, as we need a lot of insufficient number newspaper. We need insufficient a large number. So this particular press can really feed the purpose and do the purpose of that particular time, because it is printing 8,000 sheets per hour. And in the late 18th century, the offset press was developed. Now, what is that offset press? Let me show you. By clicking on that, let me show you that offset press also, my dear students. Offset press is a commonly used printing technique in which the inked image is transferred from a plate to a rubber blanket. So now there is a user of rubber blanket, and which will just transfer the ink image to the rubber blanket, and it will just print on the surface. So now we can have different colors also. It is used in combination with lithographic process, which is based on the repulsion of oil and water. The offset technique employs a flat image carrier. Means once if you have an image, you can print that image a lot of time, hundreds of thousands of times with ease. And it can, you can see over here, which could print up to 6 colors at a time, that offset press. So that was another great invention. Now the people can use colors also, 6 colors at a time with the printing press. Previously, they were just using colors by manual, by hand. Now the printing press can do that work. Now, from the turn of the 20th century, electrically operated presses also came up. Printing operation, यानी अब इलेक्ट्रिक से चलने वाले मशीन भी आ चुके थे. Now you can see this one, electrically it can now print. Now it will also increase the speed. Even methods of feeding paper also improved, है ना, पेपर डालने का मशीन में वो भी मेथड जो है वो भी improve किया. And the quality of plates also became very better. Automatic paper reels, you can see over here, automatic paper reels. You can see the paper will be fed to the printing machine automatically with this one. That is one of the really very tedious job in printing, to feed the paper again and again. So this type of technique can really reduce the working hour, reduce the labor also, and even reduce the cost of the printing books or pages also. So automatic paper reels and photoelectric controls of the color register were introduced in the later on in the 20th century. And even printers and publishers continuously develop new strategies to sell their products. Printers and publishers, they will always look for new strategies, new plans, so that they can sell their product easily to the large number of people. So they were just continually making new strategies and plans. And in 1920s in England, popular works were sold in cheap series. Now they started making cheap series. Series means what? Means part 1, part 2, means they started printing novels and stories or magazines in the newspaper or in the novels or magazines in a series wise. That is known as the shilling series. That novels were serialized. Means if you will read the first part, then you will be eager to read the second part also, third and fourth and fifth and so on. So it started in England in the 1920s, and still we can see it is there in our society also, that we go through serials and many things which are in the part 1, part 2 and part 3. Likewise, I used to make videos also. Even the dust cover or the book jacket is also a 20th century innovation. Book jacket and the dust cover. Let me show you that dust cover है ना, ये आप देखेंगे बहुत importantly you will find it on the dictionaries and important books that this type of dust cover also there, so that it can protect the books also. And even you can find book jacket like this in this 20th century book jacket. You will find this type of jacket for the books also, to keep it easily and visible to all everyone. So this is the invention in the 20th century. The Great Depression hit Europe in the 1930s. So everything was going on in a better way in 1920s, but in 1930s क्या होता है? Great Depression that hit Europe, and publishers were fearing that there will be a decline in the purchase of the books. Yes, if there is a depression, if there is a economically weak condition in a country, then who will purchase the books? So they were just fearing that there will be a decline in the book purchases. So they were thinking of new ways to continue buying. They brought out what? Cheap paperback editions. तो उन लोग ने क्या किया? Book तो बेचना ही है. They have to sell the books. So they used cheap papers so that they can bring down the cost of the books or the newspaper or the magazines, so that even at particular depression, in the condition of Great Depression, people can still purchase books. So to bring down the cost of the book, they started using cheap papers. So that was all about from Europe. Now our next topic is from our own country, that is India and the world of the print. India also had a very rich and old tradition of handwritten manuscripts. Yes, India is not lagging behind. Our country is at the top. Our country is also having handwritten manuscripts in Sanskrit, Arabic, Persian, as well as many vernacular or local languages. In the beginning, you can see manuscripts were copied on palm leaves or on handmade paper also. So सबसे पहले manuscripts को कहाँ लिखा जाता था? Palm leaves पर. Let me show you that palm leaf also. With the click of the link, let me show you that. Manuscripts were copied on palm leaves like this. You can see. Which language is it? Can you identify? But I can't identify. It's looking like Bengali, maybe. So in the beginning, they were using palm leaves to just write down the things which they want. Earlier people, manuscripts were highly expensive. Yes, that is the one of the disadvantage of the manuscript, that it was highly expensive as well as fragile. बहुत जल्दी damage हो जाते थे, टूट जाते थे, destroy हो जाते थे manuscripts. So that is one of the drawback of the manuscripts. They had to be handled very carefully, and they could not be read easily, as a script was written in different style, because everyone is writing in their own handwriting, so it was difficult to be understand or to be read easily by all. We know that we can't read doctor's handwriting because it is quite difficult for us. We can't identify the style of the writing of the doctors or engineers also. So that was one of the also drawback, that different style of writing cannot be understood or read easily by everyone. So it cannot be handled carefully also. So manuscripts were not widely used in everyday life early in the earlier days. Students very often did not read texts. क्या होता था? स्टूडेंट भी टेक्स्ट नहीं पढ़ पाते थे, because even it manuscripts were not available in large number also. It cannot be copied very easily, we know. So they only learn to write. तो स्टूडेंट क्या करते थे? वो सीखते थे, सिर्फ लिखना सीखते थे. They used to start writing, learning how to write the text, because reading the text was not available, as a sufficient number of books or textbooks were not available. Teachers used to dictate the portion of the text from memory, from their mind, from their brain, and students used to write them down in their palm leaves or stones or anywhere. So actually the culture was what of just writing and remembering all the things. The use of writing or the use of reading the things was not really very in a good number at that particular time. So many thus became literate without ever actually reading any kind of text. बहुत सारे तो ऐसे भी हैं जो पढ़े लिखे हो गए, है ना, लिटरेट बन गए, लेकिन उन्होंने कभी भी कोई टेक्स्ट को पढ़ा नहीं, because only their master, their teacher used to dictate and they used to write and they used to learn and remember everything. So they haven't read the books. but still they are educated. We can have a look at the pages of Hafiz, Diwan of Hafiz. We can have a look at the pages. Let us see. This is one of the page, my dear student, that is Diwan of Hafiz, that is written in Arabic language. And I can let you see that one of the pages from Rig Veda also. The pages from Rig Veda also you can see over here. So handwritten manuscripts continued to be produced in India till much after the coming of print. Print के आने के बाद भी इंडिया में manuscripts चलता रहा. This manuscripts was produced in the 18th century in the Malayalam script. है ना, ये कौन सी script है? Malayalam script में use किया गया चीज़ है ये. Okay, that is all up to here. Let us move away to our next topic, that print, how print came to India. The printing press first came to Goa. Oh my God, one of the smallest city of India, and printing press started there. That is quite easy to remember, that the first printing press came to Goa with Portuguese missionaries. And when in the mid 16th century में Portuguese missionaries ने print को India में लाया, पहला printing press start हुआ. And by 1674 about 50 books had been printed in Konkani and Kannada languages. Remember the name, my dear students, Konkani and Kannada languages. 50 book published किए गए around in the year 1674. Catholic priest also started printing the first Tamil book in 1579 at Cochin. Remember the name, the first Tamil book in 1579 at Cochin. And in 1713, the first Malayalam book was printed by them. So Catholic priests जो है, that they were also printing their religious book in the Tamil language, in Malayalam language, and in Tamil language, Tamil book was printed in 1579, and in Malayalam language, the first Malayalam book was printed in the year 1713. By 1710, Dutch Protestant missionaries. Protestant means those who protest. We have learned a lot about Martin Luther and his team. So Dutch Protestant missionaries had printed 32 Tamil texts by 1710, and many of them translation of older works also. बहुत सारे उन्होंने translation भी किया. So 32 Tamil texts they have printed, Dutch Protestant missionaries in the by 1710. So by the end of 18th century, Indian newspaper began publishing, and Bengal Gazette was the first one published by Gangadhar Bhattacharya, who was very close to Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So Indian newspaper भी publish होना शुरू हो गया by the end of the 18th century. And Bengal Gazette was the first Indian newspaper which was published by Gangadhar Bhattacharya, and who was a close friend of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. तो याद रखना हमारे स्टूडेंट्स अच्छे तरीके से, द फर्स्ट न्यूज़पेपर ऑफ इंडिया दैट इज बंगाल गैजेट एंड पब्लिश्ड बाय गंगाधर भट्टाचार्य. फ्रॉम 1780 जेम्स ऑगस्टस हिकी, अ प्राइवेट इंग्लिश एंटरप्राइज है ना, प्राइवेट इंग्लिश एंटरप्राइज है वो, प्राइवेट कंपनी के है ना एंटरप्रेन्योर है. ही बिगैन टू एडिट द बंगाल गैजेट, तो उनको ये बंगाल गैजेट को एडिट करने का काम, यानी एडिटर बन गए वो. दैट वाज अ वीकली मैगजीन है ना, ये डेली न्यूज़पेपर नहीं था, ये क्या था, वीकली मैगजीन था. उसके एडिटर ये बने गए जेम्स ऑगस्टस हिकी. लेट अस सी द मैन जेम्स ऑगस्टस हिकी, and he just became the editor of this Bengal Gazette. That is one of the image you can see over here. He keeps Bengal Gazette of the original, and you can see the date, Saturday March 3rd to Saturday March 19th or 9th it is. So that is a weekly one. You can see a weekly, you can see weekly something is written, and Calcutta General Identifier, he keeps Bengal Gazette. That was one of the thing was printed, and this is number 7, volume number 7 I think. So that was the thing, and he became the editor, and he published a lot of advertisements, including those that related to the import and sale of slaves. Now that was a worry, because he was publishing advertisement, that is okay, but he included the things about the import and sale of slaves in India also. So let us see what happened to him. He also published a lot of gossip about the company's senior officials in India. Company के officials जो भी बात करते थे आपस में है ना, or whatever the message that he was getting Hickey from his sources, he was publishing that also. So Governor General Warren Hastings harassed Hickey. Warren Hastings ने परेशान किया हिकी को कि ये आप gossips हमारे news, why are you publishing that? So Warren Hastings, he was a English statesman, was the first governor of presidency of Fort William and the head of the Supreme Council of Bengal. That is the detail of Warren Hastings. So he harassed Hickey, and even he encouraged publication that would increase the image of the colonial government. So he was encouraging those people to publish about the things about such things which can increase the image of the government. जो गवर्नमेंट के हक में हो वैसा वो इंक्रीज करते थे, encourage करते थे publications को कि ऐसा कुछ आप लोग print out करें. But he was harassing Warren Hickey because he was just disclosing all the news and gossips of the government officials, company senior officials. So now it's time about religious reform and public debates that we will continue in our next class, my dear students. If you are new to the channel, then please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon also. Don't forget to comment and share with your friends also. That's all. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care, my dear students. A very good morning to all of you, my dear students. Welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel, Let's Learn Together. And this is Shafiq Ahmed. And we are going to present this one, part 7 of this chapter, Print Culture and the Modern World of Grade 10 History. Previously, we have learned a lot of the things in this tutorial, and this chapter is really very quite interesting one also. So a new topic from this chapter is religious reform and public debates. Due to the print, it was really possible that public was able to debate thoroughly within themselves by printing also. So let us see what were the religious reform took place with the help of the printing technology. From the early 19th century, there were strong debates around religious issues. People were debating with each other in the form of writing, in the form of communicating each other also, and in the form of writing also. And what was they were debating? What were the topics? They were debating on the topic about religious issues. Some of them were criticizing existing practices and campaigned for reform, campaigned for research and changes. So some of them were criticizing the existing practices and asking for changes, while others countered those arguments of the reformers, those who wanted to have a change in the existing practices of in any of the religion. So someone is criticizing and the others are giving counter arguments also. So these debates were carried out in public as well as in print media also. I mean, suppose if someone is publishing a journal or publishing a novel regarding any religious issues, then the other people who are countering those, they are also using the same platform to answer those people also. Nowadays we have Facebook and other social media, Instagram, even Twitter, where we can respond, where we can give our expression or thoughts. If someone is writing against or in favor of something, then we can reply back in the comment section. So nowadays it is quite very easy, and it is no costly. It is not costly also. But in earlier days, people were not having such social media platforms where they can argue, where they can express their views. So they were using the print media, they were using journal, newspapers, magazines, novels. These were the things, and they were just expressing their views with these medias, and the others were giving argument also. So there was huge controversies between social as well as religious reformers. And Hindu belief like widow immolation, that is sati pratha. And students, you must be knowing all these things, that previously in Hindu religion it was there that when a husband will die, then his wife will also die, will also have to die with the husband on the same day. So that is what was known as sati pratha. Women were burnt alive. So there was controversies regarding this belief of widow immolation, regarding the belief of monotheism, that is concept of one God only, and that you will find in the religion of Islam, that is Muslims used to follow this particular thinking that there is only one God, that is known as monotheism. And even there were controversies and issues related to Brahmanical priesthood, even worship also. So the Brahmans used to rule the world, or rule a particular Hinduism community also. So the Brahmans are at the top, we all know. So there were controversies regarding this Brahmanical priesthood also. People were also just putting questions and asking many things from the Brahmans also. Let us see, what do you mean by those Brahmanical priesthood? It means to be a Brahmin. It means if you are a Brahmin, then you will have to perform all rituals, है ना, सारे रीति रिवाजों को आपको जो है perform करना पड़ेगा. If you are a Brahman, you will have to perform all the rituals during all holy occasions. Means सारे holy festivals में जितने भी festivals occasions होंगे, you will have to perform all those rituals. You must have all seen that we used to call Pandit ji at our home, for performing many rituals. We take help of the Pandits, of the Brahman, so that they can help us and get the thing done in a correct way. So that is the people who are just putting their questions and arguments and regarding this Brahmanical priesthood as well. And even the worship, the concept of worshipping given by the Brahmans were also challenged, and were also the point of one of the point of discussions, you may say, that people were discussing about that also. So the ideas were printed in everyday spoken language. Spoken language means, you can say, the local language of the local people. So those ideas of different philosophers and even different people, they used to get the help of the print media and use the local language of the local people, so that they can reach a wider audience, wider public. Because if you will publish in their language, then the people will purchase and they will follow your writings and your thoughts also. So one of them was Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who published Sambat Kaumudi from 1821. So please remember the name of the paper, Sambat Kaumudi from 1821. It was published by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So if you haven't seen Raja Ram Mohan Roy, let me help you out. He was a social worker, one of the founder of the Brahmo Sabha, and even the precursor of the Brahmo Samaj also. He was a social religious reform movement of the Indian subcontinent. And he was given the title of Raja by Akbar II, the Mughal emperor. So that's why he is known as Raja Ram Mohan Roy. And actually his name was Ram Mohan Roy, but the title Raja was given by Akbar. So let us see Hindu Orthodoxy Commissioned. So the Hindu authentic people, or Hindu Orthodox means those who used to have a stern belief on Hinduism and its teachings. Those people or their commission or their committee, they also published one Samachar Chandrika to oppose, means to reply Raja Ram Mohan Roy Sambat Kaumudi. So one of the things, the Raja Ram Mohan Roy was publishing Sambat Kaumudi, while the Hindu Orthodox Commission, they were publishing Samachar Chandrika to give a reply to this Raja Ram Mohan Roy's Sambat Kaumudi, to oppose the opinions of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Raja Ram Mohan Roy को जवाब देने के लिए Hindu Orthodox people ने, लोगों ने, commission ने Samachar Chandrika लिखा था, so that they can give reply to Raja Ram Mohan Roy in the same platform. Let us see what happened next. From 1822, two Persian newspapers were published. 1822 से दो नया Persian newspaper was started publishing, and the name of those newspaper are Jame Jahanama and Shamsul Akbar. And in the same year, a Gujarati newspaper named as the Bombay Samachar made its appearance in the public as well, Gujarati newspaper also. And later on, we can see that in North India, the Ulma were very, very deeply worried. And now, who are these people, Ulma? Let me tell you. Ulma are the legal scholars of Islam. Means they are well-known persons. They have the knowledge of Islam and beliefs and the knowledge of Islam and its religion. And these people are the legal scholars and the Sharia, body of Islamic law. So these people are also the members of this particular body of Islamic law also. So these are the people who make Islamic law, or who just make aware the people about the different laws of Islam. And one more word, there is fatwa, that is a legal pronouncement on Islamic law. Means fatwa, it means that someone is giving some legal order, no, no, that is legal order according to the Islamic belief, according to the Islamic law. So if someone is giving order or legal pronouncement on Islamic law, usually given by people known as mufti, that is mufti is a legal scholar, means he is the scholar of Islam. He knows everything about the laws of Islam. So if a fatwa is released, it means the order has been released by the legal scholar known as mufti to clarify issues on which the law is uncertain. Suppose if there is a law written in Islam or any other religion also, and if that particular law is not cleared, people cannot understand, then these people, legal scholar, used to come on light, and they used to clarify the things or clarify the issues by releasing fatwa, that is the legal order. So ulama are those persons, those are legal scholars. So these legal scholars are also known as mufti also, and the fatwa is the order, that is according to the Islamic law. Hope that you have understood about the ulama. So in North India, the ulama were deeply worried about the collapse of the Muslim dynasties. Northern India में क्या हो रहा था, Muslim dynasty धीरे धीरे खत्म हो रहा था. It was just collapsing around that 1800 in the beginning of 18th century, 19th century. They feared that the colonial rulers, means the British rulers, would encourage conversion, change the Muslim personal law. They were fearing, the ulama were fearing that people will be forced to convert into another religion by those Britishers or the colonial rulers, and they were obviously following the Christianity. So Muslims, scholars or ulama were worried about that. They will that the colonial rulers would force them to convert into another religion, and even they will also interfere in the Muslim personal law also. So that was the worry of the ulama. They were believing that might be the case, and to counter this, that there should not be any conversion, or British rulers or the colonials could not interfere in the Muslim personal law. So to counter all these things, they used, means this ulama, the Islamic scholars, they used cheap lithographic presses, published Persian as well as Urdu translations of the holy scriptures, means Quran and Hadith, and that is the teaching given by the last prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's and even printed religious newspapers, and even many tracts, that is the major passage in the body. So these people just started translating the holy scriptures, Quran and Hadith, and even printed religious newspapers also, so that they can make the people aware of their religion and have a stern belief on their religion. So they were just doing their work. The Dewan Seminary, that is also one of the religious group among the Muslims. It was founded in 1867. Published thousands of fatwas, and that I just discussed. Fatwa means that is the legal order. So see, this Dewan Seminary released many fatwas telling Muslim readers how to conduct themselves in everyday life, means how to lead your life in the light of the Quran. So this type of fatwas were regularly releasing. They were releasing and issuing. People are making the people aware how to lead their everyday life, and even they were explaining the meaning of the Islamic guidelines. So people were getting aware with the help of this Dewan Seminary, as well as these newspapers, religious newspapers, and magazines, holy scriptures. Urdu print helped them conduct these battles in public. So the print which were in Urdu language helped these Muslim scholars, ulama, and legal scholars to battle with the other people or the Britishers with the help of this particular print technology, Urdu print technology, helped them to just start the battle and conduct this battle in public also. Let us see, the Hindus were also not lagging behind. They also were on the top. So you can see among Hindus too, print encouraged the reading of religious texts. They were also doing the same thing. They were also encouraging the people to go through the religious texts, especially in the local languages. So they were also converting those religious texts into their local languages, so that the Hindu people also, so followers of Hindu religion also can go through the religious texts and understand their own religion. The first printed edition of Ramcharitamanas of Tulsidas, it was there in the 16th century text, came out from Calcutta in the year 1810. So Ramcharitamanas of Tulsidas was printed first in the year 1810 in Calcutta. And from 1880s, the Naval Kishore Press at Lucknow and the Sri Venkateshwar Press in Bombay, they started publishing numerous religious texts in vernaculars, means that is local languages. So these two presses, Naval Kishore Press and Sri Venkateshwar Press, one at Lucknow and the other is at Bombay, they also started printing religious texts in local languages, helping the people to understand their religion, to understand the text, to understand their religious books. They could also be read out to large groups of illiterate men and women also. So illiteracy was there in the beginning of the 19th century throughout the world. So India was also at the same time, at the same type. So there were a lot of illiterate men and women also in India. So it was all these printed materials were read out to those large groups of people, so that they can at least listen and follow. Religious texts encouraged what? It encouraged discussions. People started discussing by going through those texts. Even they started debating and controversies within, among different religions. So people starting just responding to other religion, people also responding to them and learning everything about different religions also. So print is helping everyone over here. Print did not only inspire the publication of conflicting, that is more important, conflicting opinions. So print did not only inspire the publication of conflicting opinions, means where people used to conflict, used to fight on particular topics. So print was inspiring the publication of such conflicting opinions among different communities, but it also connected those communities in different parts of India. तो सिर्फ ये भेदभाव वाला काम नहीं हो रहा था, बल्कि लोग जो आपस में कनेक्ट भी हो रहे थे, different parts of India, they were just connecting also. So people in Maharashtra, people in Bihar, they were all discussing on the media platform with the help of the print technology. Let us move ahead. Newspapers conveyed news from one place to another, creating what? Pan-Indian identities. So newspaper were helping. Yes, nowadays also we can go through the news of other state of India, even throughout the world. World news also we can have in the same newspaper. So newspapers, or you can say the printing technology, helping India to become a pan-India identities. People were just responding and thinking that they are from the same country. So you can see as more and more people now could read. Now they were able to read, more and more people. So they wanted to see their own lives, experience, emotions, relations to be reflected in whatever they are reading, whatever things they are reading. They want to read about themselves, their emotions, their relationships, and their experiences and the life of them also. So the novel in Europe provided the user a new world of experience. People now started reading, people started reading about themselves also, or the people started reading of the people who are similar to them. Novel gave idea about the diversity of human lives also, means different type of people are living different type of life. So that is the diversity. So novel was just giving this idea to the world, that how the people in the different part of the world are just living their life and leading. Other forms also entered the world of reading, like lyrics, short stories, essays about social and political matters also just started taking place. Means not only the stories of the life of the rich people or the poor people, even short stories, lyrics, essays were also started printing about social and political matters also. Increasing number of printing presses was there, and images were also used in multiple copies. Visual images such as this one, you can see this type of images was also started printing in multiple copies also with the help of this printing technology. And you must remember the name of Ravi Verma, that is a painter like Raja Ravi Verma. He produced images for mass circulation. He painted the image of Bharat Mata also once, and he just was using it for mass circulation with the help of printing technology. Even cheap prints and calendars were easily available in the bazaar, that is in the market. Cheap prints, having calendars were also there, which could be bought by the poor, even bought by the poor also, so that they can decorate the walls of their homes or the places where they work. So even nowadays also we will find a lot of calendars or printing or different type of wall posters also. Even poor people used to decorate the walls of their homes, so it was available at cheaper price so that poor people also can buy and afford that one. Print also began shaping the popular ideas. So now this is most important, my dear student. Popular ideas of the philosophers or the people who thinks differently. So their ideas about modernity, tradition, religion, politics, society and culture also getting popular, being started getting popular, and started changing the thinking of the people, because they started reading and they started thinking, logically thinking also. By 1870s, caricatures, that is pictures and cartoons, were also started being published in journals and newspaper. Nowadays also you can find cartoons and many pictures in the newspaper, even in the form of advertisement also, and even in the form where they used to comment on social and political issues. Many times you will find the cartoon of many different people, different political leaders also in the newspaper. They are also trying to give some important information or discuss on social or political issues also. So people started taking help of the cartoons as well as the picture also. Women and print. Let us see, lives and feelings of the women began to be written. Now people started writing about the lives of the and the feelings of the women also, which increased women readers, especially in the middle class. So women were also having something to read about them also, as lives and feelings of them were also being written and published. So open-minded husbands and fathers began educating their women at home. So by going through those lives and feelings of the women, so who the husband and the fathers who were open-minded, they started educating their women at home. So previously it was not so. They don't used to educate their girl child because of few reasons that I will discuss later on. So they started sending them to schools when the schools were set up at their own cities or towns or in the village. So they are just open-minded, and I salute such husband and father who used to send their girl child also to the school to get education, to be educated, and so that they can also stand on their legs and survive in this particular world. Many journals began carrying writings by women. So women took the pen also. Their lives were being written, and they started writing about themselves also from their own self. So they also took pen and started writing, and they explained why women should be educated. So women took the charge. They were just explaining people that why we should be educated. Journals also carried a syllabus, because many of the father and husband started educating their women or their daughters at home. So journals also carried a syllabus and attached suitable reading matter also, which could be used for home based schooling. घर में पढ़ने के लिए सिलेबस भी अवेलेबल हो गया और बहुत सारे रीडिंग मटेरियल्स भी अवेलेबल थे, ताकि घर में वुमेन और डॉटर्स जो लोग हैं वो घर में भी पढ़ सकते हैं. So print was helping them also. But there were few families also who were not liberals, means who were not thinking or who were not open-minded. So what those families were thinking and doing, conservative Hindus believed, means conservative means those who are conserved, those who don't want to change, those who used to follow the tradition and have a lot of belief and they are stuck to them. So conservative Hindus believed that a literate girl would be widowed, मीन्स अगर एक लड़की पढ़ लेगी तो वो क्या हो जाएगी, वो विडो हो जाएगी, मीन्स हिज हस्बैंड वुड बी, हर हस्बैंड वुड डाई if a particular girl will be educated. So that was the belief of the conservative Hindus in that time. Now things have been changed. Everyone is believing that girls should be educated also. So that was the earlier time when people were thinking that if we will educate our girl, then her husband would die. And let us see among the Muslims also, Muslims believe that educated women would be misguided. How they will be misguided? Yes, they can be misguided if they will read, go through Urdu romances and love stories, such as if they will go through such love stories in the novels or magazines or the newspapers, wherever they will go through, they can be misguided. So they were also having a fear. So they were quite not liberals. You can see Rashundri Devi, a young married girl in a orthodox household. She learned to read in the secrecy of her kitchen में छुप कर इन्होंने पढ़ा है. अपनी पढ़ाई को कैसे किया उन्होंने, किचन में छुप कर वो पढ़ती थी. She was a young married girl, means she was married at a very young age, and she was in a very orthodox family, means those who don't want changes. So she was in that family, she was married, but she continued her education in the secrecy of kitchen. That is quietly impressive. This is the woman, Rashundri Devi. We should salute this particular woman because she really has the desire. Rashundri Devi wrote her autobiography, Amor Jivan, which was published in the year 1876. And it was first full-length autobiography published in the Bengali language. Very important for MCQ. First full-length autobiography published in Bengali language was published by Rashundri Devi, and the name of her autobiography was Amor Jivan, means she wrote about her life in that particular autobiography. From the 1860s, a few Bengali women like Kailash Bashini Devi wrote about how women were imprisoned at home. That was quite famous of that time. She wrote how women were imprisoned at home. कैसे women को, औरतों को घर पे ही जेल की तरह रखा जाता है, जेल में जैसे कैदियों को रखा जाता है. She wrote about that, how women were imprisoned at home. She wrote about how women kept in ignorance, means nobody cares for the woman. Everybody used to ignore the feelings or the decisions, or nobody used to ask anything while taking any decision from women. So no one is just using or caring about the women. So she wrote about that ignorance also, how women were ignored. Even they were forced to do hard domestic labor. She wrote in that Kailashwani Devi, she wrote about this also, that how women were forced to do hard domestic labor. कितना कड़ा उनको काम करना पड़ता है, कितना जबरदस्त काम करना पड़ता है घरों में. She wrote about that also. And the most important, it is highlighted in red color. My dear students, my dear friends, please don't do this. Women were treated unjustly by the very people they serve. वो women जिनका वो खिदमत करती हैं, जिनको वो सर्व करती हैं, उन्हीं लोग क्या करते हैं, उनके साथ नाइंसाफी करते हैं. They used to treat unjustly those women who are helping them, who are serving them. Suppose if your wife is serving you, and while taking major decisions, you used to ignore. If you will ignore such your wife, then what she will feel? She will feel injustice. She will not get the justice. So please don't do, my students, all these things. That is about the past. Now the things have been changed. So Kailash Bashini Devi has done a lot in the 1880s. In present day Maharashtra, Tarabai Shinde, another great woman, Tarabai Shinde. Let me help you out with her photo also. She was a feminist activist who protested patriarchy and caste in the 19th century. तो इन्होंने कास्ट के खिलाफ, इवन पत्रियार्ची के खिलाफ जो है प्रोटेस्ट किया. She is known for her published work. She was very known also, famous also, and she wrote about the critics. She criticized the upper caste people also, how they used to misuse the women. So Tarabai Shinde Even Pandita Ramabai also wrote about the miserable life of the upper class woman. She belonged to upper class family, you know, and she wrote about her life also, that how women in the upper class are also mistreated or miserable life of upper class Hindu women, especially widows. ज्यादातर तो widows के साथ जो भी होता है शादी के बाद, even nowadays also you will find in the village side mostly, that the life of a widow woman in a Hindu family, especially in the upper class Hindu family, is really miserable. Even they do not used to offer such women, such a widow woman, good food. Even they used to give them a separate room also, and many things. If you want to really have the view or want to know, then please watch one of the movie that is known as Prem Rogi, that is one of the movie where I have seen the real miserable life of the woman, of the widow woman in the upper class family, upper class Hindu family. So she wrote, Pandita Ramabai, about the miserable life of those Hindu women, especially about the widows. I have the video also over here, but I don't want to play it over here. Just please search that particular movie and go through that movie. It will help you a lot. You will know a lot about the life of a widow woman in a upper class family. Hindi printing began seriously only from the 1870s. हिंदी में printing भी शुरू हो गया था 1870s से. Journals also discuss the lives of women education, widowhood, widow remarriage, as well as the national movement also. So journals भी discuss कर रहे थे women के education के बारे में, even about the widowhood, widow remarriage, as well as the national movement. So you can see print is helping a lot everyone. So that is all in this tutorial, my dear students. We will meet again in the next tutorial. In that tutorial we will conclude the chapter. Few more slides have been left, and I will go through one CBSE question also, which is very important for you all for the board examination. So if you are if you are new to this channel, then please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the information of the next release of the tutorial. Please share it with your friends and others also. And please don't forget to comment also. Stay at home and stay safe, my dear students. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. A very good morning to all of you, my dear students. Once again, this is the last tutorial of this chapter, Print Culture in the Modern World. That is part 8, what we are going to start. And we will finish the chapter today with the name of the Almighty. So latest topic, new topic is about the new forms of publication that is continued from the last tutorial. So we were learning about the woman and print, the relation between the print and the women. So women started printing about their lives also. And in Punjab, Ram Chadda published Stri Dharma Vichar to teach women how to be obedient wives. So Ram Chadda has published Stri Dharma Vichar to teach women that how should they lead their wife, and how should they be polite while listening to their husbands, how they should be obedient, how they can become obedient wives. So that was the teachings or the instruction maybe there in that Stri Dham Vichar, instruction to become how to become obedient wives. So Ram Chadda published that one. The Khalsa Tract Society published similar to that book. They publish cheap booklets with a similar message. The Khalsa Tract Society in Punjab, you can say, and many of these were in the form of dialogues about the qualities of good women. So people started printing and giving instruction to the women that how they can become a good woman and a good wife, obedient one. And in Bengal, an entire area in central Calcutta known as the Batla was devoted to the printing of such popular books. So remember the name of that place in Bengal, Batla, known as, which is in Kolkata. Now it is named as Kolkata, but previously it was known as Calcutta. So it was devoted to the printing of such popular books in Bengal. And one could buy cheap editions of religious tracts and scriptures. Remember, cheap editions at lower price. You can get those religious tracts and even scriptures as well as literature that was considered obscene. Even you can find such literature also which is considered obscene, that is asleal, and even scandalous means shameful literature or novels. This type of scriptures were also available. Peddlers, those who used to move from one place to other place and for selling the items, so those peddlers took the Batla publication to the homes of those women and even everyone, enabling women so to read them in their leisure time. So really, if you can't go to the market, okay, the peddlers are coming to your door and you purchase the book and go through them. So let us move to our next topic, that is print and the poor people. Very cheap small books started coming in the market in the 19th century, and the reason only is that so that the poor people can also buy them. That was the main reason. So that's why cheap small books were coming out in the 19th century for those poor people also. And in the early 20th century, public library were also set up in many places, which expanded the access of books to the common people. Now common people can go to the library and quench their thirst of reading and getting information, knowledge. Even they can borrow the books also. From late 19th century, important issues like caste discrimination began to be written. That is quite important, my dear students. Caste discrimination के बारे में भी लोगों ने लिखना शुरू कर दिया अब. Jyotiba Phule, a great lady, the Maratha pioneer of low caste protest movement. And she was one of the pioneer and great. Jyotiba Phule. Sorry, is a male one. Jyotiba Phule, the Maratha founder of low caste protest movement, wrote about the injustice of the caste system in his book Gulam Giri in the year 1871. Remember the name of the writer and the book, my dear students. I am going to have one match the following with you all regarding this slide. From this slide, Jyotiba Phule, Maratha pioneer, wrote about low caste protest movements, and he wrote it in his book known as Gulam Giri in the year 1871. B.R. Ambedkar in Maharashtra and E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar in Madras wrote powerfully on caste in the 20th century. So that is the proof that people started writing about the caste system, caste discrimination, caste system of India. This is B.R. Ambedkar, you can see over here, and even E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar, you can see him. Even he also, this man also wrote about the caste discrimination which was prevailing in India. So they started writing in the 20th century. Kashi Baba, remember the name? A Kanpur mill worker. He was a worker in the mill. Wrote and published Chote aur Bade Ka Sawal, the name of the book. Who wrote? Kashi Baba. Who was he? A Kanpur mill worker. He wrote about Chote aur Bade Ka Sawal in 1938 to show the links between the caste and class exploitation. कास्ट और क्लास की वजह से जो एक्सप्लॉइटेशन होता है उसके बारे में उन्होंने लिखा. काशी बाबा ने. कौन थे ये? कानपुर के मिल वर्कर. wrote about the exploitation which is prevailing in the society between caste and class. So he wrote in his book known as छोटे और बड़े का सवाल. The poems of another कानपुर मिल वर्कर. चलो कानपुर वाले बहुत अच्छे हैं, लिख रहे हैं. कानपुर मिल वर्कर एक और थे जिन्होंने लिखा, wrote under the name of Sudarshan Chakra. So he wrote under the name Sudarshan Chakra between 1935 and 1955. I mean in these 20 years were brought together and even published in collection called Sachi Kavitaएं. So Sachi Kavitaएं is the name of the collection and name of the book is what? Sudarshan Chakra. तो उन्होंने बहुत सारी सीरीज में लिखा है. कानपुर मिल वर्कर, he was also, he wrote in the form of the poems, है ना. So were brought together and published in the collection Sachi Kavitaएं. Let us move ahead. Kesari is a Marathi newspaper founded by Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak, prominent leader of the Indian independence movement. Yes, right, in 1881. And he wrote about the Punjab revolutionaries who were deported in the year 1907. So this is a long history about the Punjab revolutionaries who were forcefully deported, means sent out from their state in the year 1907. So Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he wrote in his Marathi newspaper known as Kesari. So remember the name, remember the year. By 1930s, Bangalore cotton mill workers set up libraries So these cotton mill workers set up libraries for them so that they can educate themselves. So really that is a great work, good work for them. Let us have this match the following. Please solve these in 2 minutes and I will share the answer with you all. रसुंदरी देवी को मैच करना है आपको, किसके साथ करना है? आप देखें छोटे और बड़े का सवाल, ऑप्शन इज देयर, केसरी, आमर जीवन, सच्ची कविताएं. सुदर्शन चक्र is also there, काशी बाबा, बाल गंगाधर तिलक. Please solve it. And here is the answer, my dear students. Rasinduri Devi was wrote Amar Jeevan, that is his her autobiography. Sudarshan Chakra, that is written in the series known as collection known as Sachi Kavitaएं. And Kashi Baba, mill worker, wrote a book in his book Chote aur Bade Ka Sawal. And Bal Gangadhar Tilak wrote in his famous newspaper Kesari about the Punjab revolutionaries. So that is the answer, my dear students. Match it and have it. And that is the last topic of the chapter, print and censorship. Before 1798, the colonial government was too concerned with censorship. They were not too much concerned with censorship. They were not worrying that okay, no one is printing a lot, anything going, nothing is going against the government. So they were not too much concerned. But it took measures against Englishmen in India who criticized company misrule and hated the actions of particular company officers. But they started taking steps against those Englishmen who were living in India and criticizing them only, criticizing the company misrule, and even hated the actions of particular company officers also. So government started taking actions against the people who were criticizing the company. Company was worried as criticism can impact trade monopoly in India. So they were having trade monopoly in India, that we all know. They were selling many products in India which could not be sold by other people. So they were just believing that this type of criticism can impact, असर पड़ सकता है उनके monopoly business पे. The company was thinking. And by 1820s, the Calcutta Supreme Court passed certain regulations to control press freedom. So Calcutta Supreme Court did a great job, passed some limitations or regulations to control the press freedom. Now means people can express their views in the newspaper according to the Supreme Court. The company began encouraging publication of newspapers that would celebrate British rule. कंपनी भी यहाँ पर काम करने लगे, encourage करने लगे वैसे न्यूज़पेपर्स को जो ब्रिटिशर्स के फेवर में लिखते थे. So they were just encouraging those newspapers. In 1835, many urgent petitions by the editors of English and local language newspaper, workers newspapers, they were forced. The government of British government was forced, and Governor General Bentinck agreed to revise press laws. He agreed, okay, I will give some freedom. And Thomas Macaulay, a liberal colonial official, formulated some new rules that restored the earlier freedom of expressing their views by the help of media. So Thomas Macaulay का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, he helped. And after the revolt of 1857, the attitudes to freedom of the press again changed because of the revolt in the year of 1857. You might have gone through this revolt, details of this revolt of 1857. So the freedom was restored, ना freedom को फिर से छीन लिया गया after that revolt. Vernacular newspapers became nationalist. So the colonial government wanted measures to control them also. Vernacular means local newspapers जो है धीरे-धीरे वो क्या हो देशभक्त हो रहे थे. They were printing about the nationalist messages. So colonial government started and they wanted to control those newspapers also. So what they have come up with, the Vernacular Press Act, to control such newspapers who were becoming nationalist. In 1878, the Vernacular Press Act was passed, and it was on the model of the Irish press laws. So Britishers was following the Irish laws, and they passed this Vernacular Press Act. And let us see what was that. This Vernacular Press Act provided the government with extensive rights to censor reports. यानी कि कोई भी रिपोर्ट पब्लिश होने से पहले परमिशन लेना होगा उसको गवर्नमेंट से. That is the right to censor report and editorials also in the vernacular press. Means अगर आपको कुछ publish करना है, कोई editorial column है, कोई report है, then you will have to take permission from the government. So they gave them this right to censor. Government kept regular track of the vernacular newspapers which were published in different provinces of the government. They were keeping the track, means they were just having an eagle eye on the newspapers report. And if such report repeated, if repeated, the newspaper was warned. अगर उनके खिलाफ कोई लीक रहा है न्यूज़पेपर में तो पहले तो वार्निंग मिलता है. And if the warning was ignored, then the press was liable to be seized and the printing machinery removed. अगर फिर भी नहीं सुनेंगे तो प्रिंटिंग प्रेस को सीज कर दिया जाएगा and printing machinery will be taken by the government. So that was the threatening that was written in the act, Vernacular Press Act. Despite repressive measures, इतना रोकने के बाद भी nationalist newspapers grew in numbers in all parts of India. And ये newspaper जो है और बढ़ते चले गए, grew in numbers in different parts of India. Despite of all these particular Vernacular Press Act, they reported, these nationalist newspapers reported on colonial misrule, about their misrule, and they encouraged the nationalist activities also. तो न्यूज़पेपर जो है यानी मीडिया अब जो है किसके साथ है, नेशनलिस्ट के साथ, देशभक्तों के साथ. When Punjab revolutionaries were deported in the 1907, in the year 1907, Bal Gangadhar Tilak wrote with great sympathy about those Punjab revolutionaries in his newspaper Kesari. We just discussed in the previous one, which led to his imprisonment in the year 1908. Bal Gangadhar को क्या imprisonment यानी जेल भी जाना पड़ा because of his writings in favor of those revolutionaries of Punjab. He was just giving sympathy. This led to his imprisonment in 1908, provoking in turn widespread protest all over India. और जिसके वजह से अगर उनको imprisonment जेल जाना पड़ा, and because of that there was protest all over in India because they wanted to revolt against the decision of imprisoning Bal Gangadhar Tilak in the year 1908. So the conclusion from the chapter is what that print culture were also used to create nationalism in India, to spread the message of nationalism in India. Print culture was also used. That is the conclusion, that print culture was also took in use and helped to spread the message of nationalism in India. That is all from this chapter, my dear students. If you are new to this channel, then please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the information of the next release of the tutorial of the next chapter. Please share it with your friends and others. Please don't forget to comment and pass it to others also. Stay at home, stay safe. May God bless you all, my dear students.